Hi everybody, I'm Nazara with Nazarasfinecrafts, and hoping that the kids will cooperate with me, I want to show you how to put sew a backing onto a crochet rug. This is just a prototype. This is the first time I'm doing it, so you guys are going to make mistakes with me if there are any mistakes. Hopefully not. But yes, I bought some tufting material that has a non-stick little knobbies on the back side, the bottom side, and I'm going to sew it to this crochet rug. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. I do mostly crochet things. I also do anything pretty much yarny. I also have an embroidery machine, a Cricut machine, and I sew, obviously, if I was just talking about sewing. If you're not new here, then welcome back, and I hope you get some information out of this tutorial, kind of just work with me video. So I'm going to go ahead and point the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to talk on top of it. Excuse the mess while we're here because I am in the process of redoing my craft room, and this whole corner right here is just full of stuff. Here I've laid out my crochet rug. I will post the link to the pattern in the description below if you guys are willing to make this. I did add a little picot. Forgive little brother, he's just noisy. A little extra edging to it, but this is the rug, and then this is the material. So it's got the dots on the one side and then just kind of felty on this side. I've laid it out so that it'll cover the whole rug, and then I want to cut where it's going to be right about here, because I'm going to be doing, well, maybe, no, I'm going to do it all the way to the top because I'm going to try to sew within the zigzag. Let me see. Yeah. I'm going to try to sew the border in this little zigzag right here. I don't want to ruin the integrity of the pattern. So if I do it right here in this little seam, then I should be able to get that pretty well. It'll just make an indent right there under that seam even more, which is fine. So I know my table's not big enough right now, but I'm going to go ahead and cut all the way up here. Yes, he's beating a rattle on the ground or something. And then I can pin this down. Normally I would. I don't really have the time to at the moment. So I figured I would just go under it with the weight of the rug. I am doing a little bit more of a lip here, but I'm going to trim that off after I sew it. But I want to make sure I have more than enough to go with the pattern here. I'm going to go in front of the camera here. I don't want to, but I can't get behind the camera at the moment. So I have quite a bit of this left. So I got this off of Amazon for $35. I will link it in the description below as well. And it's quite a bit that came with it, so it will definitely last through a few rugs. I have been having a problem with my rugs being a little slippery, not terribly slippery, but a little. So hold on. Okay, so we've got baby brother's taking a nap. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to clip these. I don't know if you can see this. Try and clip it to this instead of pinning it. So I'm going to do it right here at every single top of the stitch, or top of the picot. Zoom in here. So I'm going to do it right here at the top, but not where it's going to hit the line that I'm going to be sewing on. So I'm going to go all the way around here with that. don't know if I mentioned, but you can also get this in white, this felt backing. So I chose gray for this one because I figured it'd be the best to not be completely terrible to go through. The black here, but they did not have black that I saw. So I might have to do some more research on that and see if I can't get some actual black. And I'm trying to kind of stretch this out to fit on here so that the rug, the actual crochet rug, is laying flat also. So, because I don't want it to curl up and be all different from the mat underneath. And it's almost like blocking it as well. Project, I'm using my Singer heavy duty machine, and then I'm just making sure I have enough space over here for it to turn. And what I'm going to do so that this doesn't get all wrinkled is I'm going to start right here. Let's see if I can, there we go, there's the texture, maybe. I'm going to start right here and just kind of go and make small rounds all the way up so that the mat underneath doesn't get wrinkled, and I'll show you that here in a moment so that you can know what I am talking about. So for the first one, I'm going to do right where I showed you with the bobble. I'm going to do it on the loosest stitch I can do because it's crochet. I kind of want it to just kind of tack it in there. I don't need it to be completely and utterly sewn down. And this will be kind of bulky and weird at first, so I get used to it after a little while. And I have my needle moved all the way to the left because I don't want to run over my bobbles a whole lot. So the closer I can have it to the edge, the better. And I like to trim threads as I go because I can't stand to go back. You can see right here, see if I can get it where the texture shows. Okay, there we go. So I stitched around. It didn't ruin the integrity of the crochet. It just kind of added another layer or ridge to it, but it's also tacked down here. And I will smooth that out. This does not make it easy either with sewing this the sticky bumps because it doesn't want to glide. I guess I could put, I might put stabilizer under it. I might experiment with that to make it a little bit more slippy slidey. If you know how to sew. If you have any suggestions, if you sew crochet, if you have any suggestions to help it, then definitely leave it in the comments below. Okay, so for these middle layers I decided to go ahead and use the pins. As much as it's going to be difficult, it's not it's not secure enough just with the clips around the edge. So I'm trying to make sure they're straight and trying to pin this the best as possible. Some longer pins would be nice, but I don't have any, so I will work with what I have. this way so it slides better. Hopefully it doesn't get caught underneath and I can do a pretty good line. This rug is, like I said, a prototype for my stepdaughter in her new apartment. I'm wondering if how badly this is going to catch my yarn. Let's try it, y'all. Okay, so when you sew, I don't know if you know this, but it'll pull the fabric sometimes, depending on the fabric, as you go through it. So right now I am taking the clips off because if you actually look, it's made it that much longer just from being on there. So what I'm going to do, oh goodness, I'm telling you, if you have any tips or tricks, let me know. I'm going to try to do this by holding onto it and pulling the fabric along with it, but I have a feeling it's going to be a disaster. So we'll see. Haha, haha. Okay, let's see if I can get this thing focused. There we go. Alright, so I ended up having to hand sew the rest around the edge because it kept pulling. You can see how bunched up it is on this side with the machine. So I just went ahead and took the same yarn and kind of tacked around it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off all this extra. And then I'm thinking about with this, with these big holes, I might cut out the material in these big holes. There's only a couple spaces, so it would still have just enough or it would have enough to hold it down. We'll see how I feel after I cut these seams off, or the rest of these edges off. So it's pretty sticky as far as movement. Just don't know if I want to. I'm going to go put it down in the kitchen and kind of use it a little bit. Like, once again, this is a prototype. This is for my stepdaughter's kitchen. Sorry for the lighting, but this is in my hallway. And so it's laid down, and from what I can tell, it's not moving a whole lot. You'd have to seriously push it to make it move. Yeah, my bare feet with my, it's like my little shoe tan. So, I don't like that, how it's not straight across. There's some alterations that I need to do to that pattern to make me happy with it. It's a perfectly fine pattern, but there's some parts that I would really like to modify to make a little bit better on my end. It looks like it curled up under here. Oh, it's just so bushy over there from sewing it. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it alone for right now. What do you guys think? Should I remove those holes? Let me know down in the comments. So what do you guys think about, should I remove those holes, or just let me know down in the comments what you think I should do. I did talk to my mom. She talked about doing maybe like the pillowcase technique, sewing it so that these little rubber stoppers aren't impeding my sewing. So by basically turning it inside out and then turning it right side out after I'm done sewing it, for the most part. I thought that was a very valid way of doing it. I might try that sometime. But as of right now, yeah, this is what I've got. Because hand sewing it would take forever if I did that. That would be a substantial rise in the cost of it because of the time, and I want to value my time. So that's how I sewed that rubber backing. It worked really well, even hand stitching it. So the needle went through just fine, and I used yarn and a yarn needle, so it did have a little bit of a point. It was not a blunt tip yarn needle. It had a little bit of a tip to it, a little bit of sharpness to it. So if you guys are ever thinking about putting a backing on a rug, this stuff is great. I had little to no problems with it. It cuts fine, it sews fine, except for the fact that it holds on to your machine so it doesn't glide very well. But yeah, so if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.